Total cash allowance on the purchase of a 2019 Chrysler Pacifica Limited.
The 2019 Phoenix Rising Football Club season is finally here, and it starts with a daunting task as Rick Shantz and the boys take on San Antonio FC and Darren Powell from Toyota Field here in San Antonio, Texas. Tyler Terrence, joined by none other than Devin Kerr, and the 2019 Phoenix Rising season is presented by Equality Health. Devin, so glad to be back in the booth with you. Phoenix Rising coming off of a memorable 2018 season, and talking with Rick Shantz, obviously all that stuff is great, and they want to get back to the postseason, but when we were talking to him about San Antonio specifically, he said probably the closest resemblance you can find to Phoenix in terms of the way that the club is built, and it certainly showed last year splitting the series 1-1.
Take a look at not just last year, go a step further, Tyler. San Antonio leads the series 4-2-1 overall. When Phoenix comes to visit San Antonio, they're 3-0-1. They haven't gotten a point since 2016. By the way, they were Arizona United back then. They've lost some key players to their squad. There's one of them, Billy Forbes, who is now on the opposite sideline. A couple of other gentlemen that have no longer have the ability to step in for Phoenix Rising. Didier Drogba, that's the biggest name that's going to jump out. Still an owner, but no longer going to sit up top in that number 9. Chris Cortez, 19 goals. Can Adam Johns step in and fulfill that role? They don't necessarily think it has to be one guy. It can be a collective effort. And not forget, most recently, Gladson Awaka, who sat in that number 10 spot, no longer in the starting lineup or on the sideline.
Well, you hit the nail on the head with it could be more of a collective effort, because that was the biggest thing that Rick Shantz was talking about in terms of the balance. And when you talk about that balance, you're looking at Jason Johnson, you look at Solomon Asante, Kevon Lambert, James Musa, all these core that you kept intact, and maybe it just needs to be a bit higher production from that core.
I agree with that for sure, but also some guys last year, even Jason Johnson wasn't necessarily what we thought we were going to get out of him. There were some additions, even Billy Forbes thought he was going to bring it to it. Not the case, but they've gone out, they've gotten Junior Flemings. But everything starts from your goalkeeper, Carl Wazinski, moving forward, Luigi Mala, you name it. They've got the right roster to get this done.
Phoenix Rising know that there is unfinished business for the 2019 season. They want the USL Cup, but it all starts with a win here in San Antonio in Week 1. Phoenix and San Antonio coming your way next.
Hey, you, the one with the designer dog collar. Wondering how I upgraded to this sweet pad? A 1,200 square foot bathroom and my very own spa. All I had to do was give my human the look. With Wells Fargo's 3% down payment on a fixed rate loan and a simpler online application, getting into my dream home was easier than ever. Get your human to visit wellsfargo.com/woof. What would she do without me?
The ball.
I've been there. I had a TV service with hardly any sports in 4K. Couldn't see any of the quality details. I switched to DirecTV. Now I get the most live sports in 4K.
So how does that help me?
You know what? It really doesn't. I don't know why I told you that. Go get him, Sport.
Live sports that aren't in 4K are just Kinda TV. Switch from Dish and get a $100 reward card. Don't just Kinda TV, DirecTV.
It's the Sign and Sleep event at Mattress Firm. During the Ultimate Financing event, take home a new mattress at 0% APR for 6 years, with $0 down and $0 due at signing. Just sign, save, and sleep. It's as simple as that. And what could be better than taking home a new bed for no money down? How about saving up to $400 on the best brands? But these deals won't last long, so don't miss out. Your budget stretches further at Mattress Firm.
Back here at Toyota as we are just moments away from kickoff here in San Antonio as Rick Shantz and the boys are set to go against San Antonio FC, and a familiar face in Billy Forbes as he returns to the club where he really sort of kick-started his career yet again, the Turks and Caicos native. And we'll take a look at Phoenix's starting 11 for tonight. Devin, definitely some interesting pieces moving around here. We probably expected to see Joseph Farrell and A.J. Cochran in that center back position. Lamar Batista comes over on loan from LAFC, and Luigi Malo, who Rick Schantz has been raving about, gets the start alongside Batista. Probably what we could have expected moving up front.
Keep an eye on the outside backs because number 13, Amadou Dia, and number 24, Mustafa Dumbaya, are big-time counterparts. This year, they only had the left side. Now we have the right. When you look forward at San Antonio FC, what you're going to see, though, Billy Forbes, Lang, and Barbie. Don't be surprised if you see Barbie actually sitting in the number 10 spot. Lang moving out on the left, Billy Forbes out on the right. Ever Guzman, he has been absolutely amazing for Darren Powell and his squad. He's a streaky scorer. Phoenix looks to keep him at bay.
And two of the biggest pickups for San Antonio on the defensive side of the ball between Yarrow as well as their other center back in Amir Jidic, who Phoenix fans know all too well. He actually scored the equalizer against Phoenix Rising in the 2017 Western Conference quarterfinals. Yarrow sort of has had an up-and-down career since coming into his professional loan, as this Phoenix team is looking to get an early 3 points on the road. And Devin, when we were talking to Darren Powell, we posed him the question, when you're starting from scratch or if you have a lot of new pieces coming in, would you rather have the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball be where you need to sort of move those pieces around more? And he said, obviously, you would rather have everybody back and not have to work on it. But probably the defensive side is a little bit more difficult to coach because that's so much more of the cohesion and the synergy part of it. And mistakes back there can lead to goals, whereas mistakes on the other end of the field, well, you can sort of get by those and work your way through it.
And his goalkeeper, Matt Cardoni, is sitting with 4 brand new guys on that back line in front of him. Not an easy thing to deal with, but you do have Cardoni. That's a big name in this league, and you have to understand what he's capable of. He has no problem stepping in there and help steer this squad in the right direction. The big question mark is Kai Green. Are they going to play him on the left, or will they play him on the right? It's a big key factor that you don't really know what's going to go on with that. Ebi Akon, who they picked up in the offseason, the Ghanaian, very capable outside, and now you just wonder what's going to go on going forward.
Well, we're officially underway for the 2019 Phoenix Rising Football Club season. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr as an early header comes in and over the bar. And a quick look at our injury report for tonight. And Ethan Bryant, Darren Powell mentioned to us that he was questionable heading into tonight, which of course is brought to you by Mayo Clinic. This injury report, and Alessandro Rigi slowly but surely starting to work his way back as San Antonio has some clean possession. And we've heard some great things about Alessandro's recovery. He actually spent a few weeks in Dubai rehabbing that gruesome knee injury that he had, which was a non-contact knee injury against Orange County, as Phoenix are looking threatening after a San Antonio giveaway. Here's Solomon Asante, fouled from behind. And a good set-piece opportunity coming up for Phoenix. If they are going to call the foul, the referee, Malik Badawi, was motioning in Phoenix's direction, and it looks like it's just going to be a throw-in.
Hard to believe that Alessandro Rigi is already up and running. I mean, that is
Incredible.
amazing. How fast is that? Rick Schantz said that he went out to the Far East and took very good care of himself, already going through the progressions. He's someone who really could have contributed to Phoenix last year. At one point in time in the season, before he went down, you and I were looking at the numbers at exactly the amount of minutes played compared to his goals and assists, and he was averaging a point roughly every 20, 25 minutes. That's a massive number for any player on the pitch, yet alone a super sub in the likes of Alessandro Rigi.
And it was tough to see him go down when he did, because not only was it a brutal loss against Orange County, which they went down 4-0 and were able to make that comeback, but as you said, Rigi was really starting to come into his own. He finished with 2 goals and 5 assists, which for a lot of players in the USL Championship, they probably would have been satisfied with that, especially coming off the bench as much as Alessandro did.
It's a roster bonus.
Exactly, but Alessandro's aspirations are sky high, and we're hoping to see him back out on the pitch extremely soon as San Antonio come away with it. Here's Billy Forbes. Cleared away by the Phoenix back line, and Phoenix Rising FC, of course, with that terrific kit launch, and we'll get our uniform report after this half opportunity for San Antonio that could be brewing into a full opportunity. Waz makes the save. There's Guzman. They want an offside flag, and they'll get it. And it is going to be offside, much to the dismay of the crowd here at Toyota. But it looked like Guzman was in an offside position.
Luigi Mala shifts over, gets turned around. Nice footwork by Jack Barmby. How many times did we see that at T2 last year? Just funnels over, and for sure, local contingent not happy. Never Guzman had progressed a bit further than he should have. The deflection comes right to the man in the offside position.
Delivery sent in towards John, skips towards the back post. Junior Flemings couldn't quite bring it down. Here's Aguinaga. Loses it to Pirano. A bit of a frantic start here in San Antonio as Phoenix come away unscathed after Ever Guzman's goal was waved off due to offside.
Right away, Tyler, keep an eye on the spacing in the middle of the field. Speaking with Rick Shantz, said philosophies have changed a bit this year with the tools of their trade. They might sit in a little bit more of a 4-3-3 hybrid type position, but if you keep an eye at the midfield.
This one in towards Guzman, and was able to make the save. And in the first 4.5 minutes or so, Phoenix back line looks porous.
That's the spacing I'm leading to. They're really sitting more in a 4-1-4-1. That's an accurate depiction because as they go outside, there's spacing that opens up in the middle, and that's just a trailing run from Guzman coming all the way through. He's left unmarked, running to the backside. That's conversation between Batista, Dia, and Mala. It has to be better.
And you saw Dumbayo was unsure whether or not he was supposed to go and challenge the service. It was a lack of communication, to say the least. Jack Barmby trying to thread it through. Dumbuya this time with good cover. And the one thing that Rick Shantz said about Mustafa Dumbuya is his pace is a wow factor, to say the least. Here's Billy Forbes on the other end, and a terrific challenge from Lamar Batista. It gets boos from the crowd in San Antonio, but Devin Kerr, the former center back, certainly appreciates that kind of challenge in the penalty area.
Billy Forbes does as well. He's not making a case whatsoever. He knew it was a phenomenal tackle that just slid right over. That's a man wise beyond his years. But again, the spacing for Phoenix, opening 6 minutes, really struggling with the movement of the home squad.
It's almost written in the stars for Billy Forbes, who scored against San Antonio at Phoenix last year. Looking to return the favor against Rick Shantz this time. As this one over the head of Kevon Lambert. Dumbuya. Lambert trying to play out of pressure. But San Antonio doing a good job of bottling them up in the back. One of their big offseason pickups on the defensive side, and Josh Yarrow, 24-year-old from Kumasi, Ghana. Spent some time with the Philadelphia Union as well as the Bethlehem Steel, sort of bounced back and forth, never really was established on one side or the other, but the Philadelphia Union fans, it was bizarre because there would be times where they would call for him to be in the starting 11 and to be a constant member of that back line, and there were other times where they didn't want Josh Yarrow anywhere near the Philadelphia Union. And I think a fresh start with a coach like Darren Powell, who really knows what he's doing, and we had a pleasure talking to him. I think it might be just what the kid needs.
Gives you an idea of what the organization felt about him as well, because having the opportunity, he was on contract with the Union and being loaned to Bethlehem Steel. Sometimes they'll let guys sit around, maybe loan them down a bit more often to the Steel. Not the case. They cut ties, he goes another direction, and you're spot on, Tyler. Fresh start, an opportunity to come in under the tutelage of Darren Powell with some great talent around him in the likes of Amir Jidic, and moving forward should be a recipe for success.
Amadou Dia wins the defensive header. Kai Green, who's coming over from RGV, wearing number 30 for San Antonio FC. Somebody that Darren Powell is extremely high on. Very athletic outside back from New Jersey. Ebi Akan linking up with Pekka. Here's Solomon Asante. Trying to bend one into the path of Junior Flemings, but Kai Green dealt with it beautifully. James Musa getting a touch to it, but it falls right to Billy Forbes. Poking it away from Christian Pirano momentarily. Forbes working on Musa and a couple of former teammates. And Amadou Dia as well. Barmby finding Lance Lang, one left-footed player to another. Lang whips it across. Guzman. San Antonio lead 1-0. This one won't be waved off. Terrific play down the left flank from San Antonio, and they're off and running in 2019.
Funny enough, before the broadcast, Tyler, you and I were talking about all the left-footed talent in the likes of Billy Forbes, Lance Lang, and Jack Barmby. All three of them involved. Starts on the near touchline, moves all the way around, and then it's very nonchalant. Solomon Asante doesn't step in. Luigi Mala does not close down the space, and there's the space we talked about. Just the trailing run, sitting right at the top of the six, puts it on a platter. It's a good finish by San Antonio FC. A lot of questions by Phoenix that need to be answered.
Everett Guzman, who had 11 goals in the 2018 campaign in 27 appearances. Probably won't see much easier than that in 2019. So Phoenix Rising find themselves in a 1-0 hole in the first 10 minutes of the 2019 USL Championship campaign. As this one goes in for Adam John, laying it off for Junior Flemings. Yara will go all the way back for Matt Cardoni. And it particularly seems to be the right side of the Phoenix defense, Devin, that may not have all their ducks in a row just yet. But Dumbuya with a terrific move on the outside, frees up some space the other way. Goes in for John. Lambert keeps it moving. Amadou Dia now. New boy Junior Flemings. One of 5 members of the Phoenix Rising starting 11 making their debut for the club.
It's also one of those things, Tyler, that yes, it's easy to point your finger at one person, but you really shouldn't, because Mustafa dives in, he gets beat. Luigi Mala doesn't shift over. Lamar Batista flat-footed, lets the Guzman run get in front of him. All of that is a progression that should be second nature to any defender in that situation. It broke down. Easy pickings for San Antonio.
Easy pickings or Matt Pickens? I thought you saw the beard and that's what you were referring to.
I'm not confused. He's trying to figure out what's going on in Nashville land.
Here's Pirano. Good ball the other way. Ever Guzman. 1v1 with Lamar Batista. Billy Forbes dropping in support. Turks and Caicos native. Sizing up Batista. Forbes towards the back post. And it's over the head of Lance Lang. Pirano's one to keep an eye on for San Antonio. He's wearing number 19. He's 19 years old. And you talk about all the talent that San Antonio has, and Pirano was one of the first names out of Rick Schantz's mouth, and we asked him, what should we be worried about or concerned about with the San Antonio team in terms of talent, and he loves that kid.
Rick's always been one of the South American descent where he likes those types of players, and he's not far off. And look at the name behind him. Boca Juniors, River Plate. I mean, those are big names in the footballing world, and it hasn't necessarily worked out for the first teams down there. But to get the opportunity here under San Antonio FC, nice. The thing is he's only, even though he's with those squads, he's only got 30 pro minutes under his belt coming into this match. So even though he's done well for himself so far, still a 19-year-old playing with men.
Josh Yarrow being nipped at by Adam John. And Yarrow able to skirt out of pressure with Junior Flemings joining in on the fun as well. It's the Brazilian Pekka. Probably a battle of 2 of the best sixes in the Western Conference, possibly the entire USL Championship between Kavan Lambert and Pekka. Anyone else you want to throw in the mix?
thinking quick. I'm trying to.
This is really quick for you.
It's very fast. I mean, this is an accelerated movement if you could actually see me, folks. You know I'm such an advocate for Lambert, and I don't think that he gets the credit whatsoever. Not at all. I mean, the kid is miles ahead. The problem is that in this day and age in America, with all due respect, people look for goal scorers. They look for the offensive-minded players. They don't see the dirty work that's being done behind the scenes. This kid has all the tools of the trade. And so he's my vote, and so it's difficult for me to look around. I don't mind the comment by Pekka, but to me, there's no one else compared to Lambert.
Barmby, his delivery takes a deflection and a corner kick coming up for San Antonio. Should keep in mind that Kevon Lambert's probably going to be gone for about a month when the Gold Cup rolls around this summer.
That's going to be rough for Phoenix, but that's where Colin Fernandez and the depth starts to play in, where he can step alongside James Moose and have the opportunity to fulfill that role. Did a great job last year. They'll need him again.
Lance Lang on the corner for San Antonio. Had the assist on the opening goal for Ever Guzman. Outswinger. It's won by Yarrow and just over the bar. Almost 15 minutes gone here. And a big welcome to Sanderson Ford as a proud supporter of your Phoenix Rising. The best play on a new Ford truck is now during Truck Month at Sanderson Ford. They have over 600 trucks in stock with prices starting at $27,900. The best play is at Sanderson Ford.
Wasn't bad defending there. That's just a simple logistical error on the marking by Phoenix Rising. It's not much you can do. Center back at Josh Yarrow at 5'11", and Mustafa only stands at 5'8".
A couple of the newbies for both sides, and Adam John and Jack Barmby. Mixing it up a little bit here at Toyota. Toronto trying to be James Musa to it. Now trying to strip Kevon Lambert. Oh, and Phoenix wanted to go quickly, but Malik Badawai is going to bring that one back. But you can see the engine that Pirano has. I mean, he covers an incredible amount of ground, and it just was those long strides of either Moose or Lambert that beat him to the ball, but he's extremely quick.
A dump truck as well. You look at his upper body, and he's not huge, but his legs are massive. He's been running through some players. Nice little challenge on Lambert a second ago. Didn't get all the way through it, but that's a boatload of power in that small frame.
Here's Dia. Akinaga has it poked away. Moose up for the header. Couldn't locate it, and the foul's going to go against Pirano, the Argentinian. But Devin, you hit on it a little bit, but he spent his first academy years with Boca Juniors and then went over to River Plate. And for those of you who don't know the Argentinian clubs, River Plate and Boca Juniors are sort of like Yankees, Red Sox, North Carolina.
Oil and water.
I mean,
they don't mix.
They do not mix. I'm surprised you're allowed. That's legal in Argentina to go switch clubs like that. Aguinaga on the set piece for Phoenix. Bends it in. It's a good ball. Won by San Antonio. Dumbuya wants to connect with Asante, but he's fouled. And boy, did he bait the 23-year-old and his compatriot from Ghana from Cape Coast, Ebi Akan. Just slid over between Akan and the ball.
Darren Powell's got his mouth covered. Oh, Darren, I respect it, buddy. Darren Powell's a really good guy, but doesn't want to give anybody an idea of what he's saying. Not really sure what the argument is here. Biakan steps right in from behind, takes him down. The linesman's right there.
He's pointing at the ball as if that was the only thing that he got. Asante. Won by Pekka. Didn't know much about it. And a corner kick coming up for Phoenix Rising. Looking to find an equalizer. after a bit of a shaky start defensively in the opening goal from Guzman. Corner kicks brought to you by Carvana. Shouts for a handball not given, and Billy Forbes clears it away. And it's going to be a late challenge as well, so San Antonio will be able to officially move their lineup. Billy Forbes had his opportunities with Phoenix, I think is fair to say. Didn't produce the way that many thought he would. And just seemed to be a mutual understanding between Phoenix and San Antonio that it might be better for him to head back to San Antonio. But this is where he had his breakout season, where you thought that he might be able to take those next steps. And obviously not saying that he can't, but it just didn't really seem to work out with Billy the way that a lot thought it might, because he seemed to fit the bill for Phoenix moving forward.
Almost hit the double-double for them that year, 10 goals, 9 assists, and really didn't translate into form in 2018. Both he, as well as Kevon Frater, who came over from Colorado Springs, they came into the Phoenix lineup. They never really found their traction, given plenty of opportunities. Frater most recently in the USL Cup final couldn't get it done. But both guys just in and out of form. Right when you felt like they were going to get it going, they would take 3 steps back, and it was like that, 3 back, 1 forward, never truly hitting their stride. And you know, you wish the best to Billy. The fans loved him. It was great, just didn't really work out.
Toronto brings it down. Toronto. And a good touch in from Batista. Batista standing at about 6'4", 6'3", and Toronto of, call him 5'6".
That's generous.
Yep. Slip ball through, intended for Guzman, and Luigi Mala has it covered and then some. And maybe with the lack of success that San Antonio has had, particularly this past year as well as 2016, Everett Guzman maybe not getting the notoriety that he deserves. I mean, he is a very, very good striker. He had a long history in Liga MX. He played some really good years for the likes of Morelia, for Veracruz. But, you know, being in the San Antonio market, obviously not enormous, but doesn't really seem to get the notoriety that he deserves. And this is a San Antonio team that was probably one result away from getting to the postseason in 2018 as well. Here's Solomon Asante on the other end. Whips in a good ball, and it's in for Phoenix. First goal of 2019 from the new boy, Junior Flemings. Excellent ball in from Asante. Flemings right where he's supposed to be, on the back post, and Phoenix have their equalizer in the 22nd.
Bullish work from guess who? Super Solo. Great challenge on the backside from Junior Flemings, who just makes the most out of Kai Green. The former Rowdy doing very good things. Kai Green tried to make a little bit of move on him on the back end. You can hop, skip, and jump anywhere you want, Junior Flemings. Welcome to Phoenix.
Well, there's 5 newcomers for Phoenix in the starting 11. So it's just a numbers game. And a matter of time before somebody opened their Phoenix Rising account. And Junior Flemings, who a lot of people pegged as one of the biggest offseason pickups, whether it be re-signing somebody or a new acquisition, proving most of those people right. A big goal on the road here in San Antonio. And it's got to feel good if you're Rick Schantz after a bit of a shaky start, able to grind out the equalizer, because it's a goal that was created from, obviously, a great ball from Asante, but it was suspect keeping from Cardonian. They really haven't had much of the ball.
You have to wonder if now this is a turning point for Phoenix Rising on the road to gain some momentum and really get back to what their bread and butter is supposed to be in 2019. We asked Rick Schantz and said, what is the biggest thing you learned, or what's going to change compared to last year's squad? He said last year, things were dictated to us a little bit. We played keep up and had to adjust our game. We don't want that. From a scouting standpoint, we want people to adjust to us. We want to stick to our philosophy. We haven't really seen that in the opening 20 minutes. Good look at a goal. That is exactly what they want to do. Now going forward, can they replicate?
Asante wins it back for Phoenix. Adam John trying to touch it through. And won by Amir Jidic. And look at Phoenix swarm the ball right when they give it away. In San Antonio's defensive third, they commit the foul. But the bread and butter that you were talking about, Devin, it's high flying, it's energetic football moving forward. But when you give it away, like Manchester City, like Barcelona, you immediately go after the ball, and you see 3 white jerseys surrounding Pekka there.
And what you're going to see out of them is similar to what you see in the Eastern Conference and John Wolinak's squad in New York Red Bull too. However, probably not that high of a tempo. They don't necessarily play as much, we'll say. They're very direct, very one-touch, go at 100 miles an hour. Phoenix wants to do that, but with clinical precision where they can cut and jag here and there, but also play a little bit, make their opponents chase.
Giveaway from Lamar Batista as we've entered the 25th minute. All level at 1 here in San Antonio. Ever Guzman with the opener for San Antonio. And then Phoenix answered just a couple of minutes ago through Junior Flemings. In towards Parano. Crowd wants a foul. Malik Badawai not interested whatsoever. It's like Junior Flemings took a knock to the head, and that's going to force the athletic training staff to come on.
Junior Fleming's not making any friends here. Going for the goal first and foremost, and there's not much there. A lot of people being up in arms, but the two of them are just making a challenge. It's both outstretched from the guys. That's just a long body compared to Christian Parano, who could not get next to him. Fleming's afterward going to ground. He caught a hand. It was just out of the reach. We were looking at, there's a meeting of the minds. Amadou Dia, the boys on the back line. Lamar Batista, Loney from LAFC, and James Musa starting to feel a bit better.
Caught the elbow of Kai Green.
No malintent by Kai Green
no,
there. They're
no,
both
not
turning.
whatsoever.
Just came around a little bit and just caught him on the nose. And it's funny, people are quick to jump on players, especially when you see it in replay. When you're going at 100 miles an hour and the tiniest bit of an elbow comes around, it's a fragile spot on your face. It hurts.
So Flemings has to come off momentarily. He'll be ushered back onto the pitch shortly. Flemings with the opening goal, 23-year-old from Kingston, Jamaica. 6 goals in 2018. Coming over for the Tampa Bay Rowdies after a couple of good years with New York Red Bulls too. And Solomon Asante with some theatrics. After the fact, Phoenix get the call. And Captain Solo remains prone. Guzman was motioning for a substitute for Solo. I don't know if that'll be warranted. We'll take another look.
Ebi Akan once again getting stuck in. Second time hands in the cookie jar, buddy. Remember the earlier challenge on the touchline against Solo as well. Solo letting us know that in the offseason he has 100% been in the gymnastics arena trying to turn a few things around on the rings. I mean, he gets stuck in, and it's a lot. Again, it's fast on the ankle. Also trying to slow things down for the boys as well. The goal, high emotions, high energy. Get your wits about them. I feel like I'm being nice. There's the main man, Darren Powell.
4th season with San Antonio, Nottingham, England native. 46, 30, and 30 all time with the silver and black. Sharp look from Rick Schatz tonight, Dev.
The wife's been busy.
I mean,
you get that interim tag off your head coach, you get
she's
new
had all
salary.
off season to be able to put together this outfit on opening night for him.
You know she sent him 3.
You think so?
Yeah.
2.
Oh, he definitely came with 2.
At least.
I know him well enough.
Yeah.
We know the move that's going to be made.
Got to have options.
Got to get a look at the kicks.
Haven't been able to get a look at it now.
Oh, there we go.
There they are.
Look at that. Matt Black.
Solo's missing one.
Oh, look at the socks. Stop it. Good for him.
Wow. And a quick shout out to the watch parties going on back in the Valley as Casino Arizona Sports Bar in Scottsdale and Pascatina and Cafe in Phoenix. Thank you so much for tuning in on the CW and for joining us on the inaugural game of the 2019 USL Championship campaign. Junior Fleming's not exactly popular in San Antonio right now. Solo is back out on the field. Luigi Mala, good distribution. Billy Forbes the other way, and Amadou Dia just sticks a foot in. And Flemings gets fouled again.
Like the defending by Amadou Dia, though. You know Billy Forbes. He's seen the scouting report a few times, and all the moves in all the training sessions they were in together last year. Everything constantly looking to be pushed back onto that left foot. Dia just bided his time. Got a little toe poke in. Now they go the other way.
Well, it takes one to know one. Amadou Dia, obviously a predominantly left-footed player as well.
There is no right-footed. No, that's not true. He does well for himself, but master class on the left side of the ball.
He was Mr. Ironman for Phoenix in the 2018 season, led them in minutes and just was a sure thing at the left back position. Adam John trying to beat Yarrow to it. Good defending from Yarrow. And a goal kick coming for Matt Cardoni, the San Antonio native. Matt Cardoni, I mean, you talk about an interesting career path in professional soccer. This guy has not left San Antonio to play soccer. Youth, college, went to Trinity, Division III, albeit a Division III powerhouse. And then ends up with the San Antonio Scorpions in the NASL. When they fold in, San Antonio FC comes along, gets a spot. Hasn't left.
If it ain't broke,
don't leave?
Something like that. I read good.
But seriously, how many stories do you hear of like that? I mean, especially in this country where the opportunities may not be as plentiful in terms of the amount of teams. It's astounding.
Yeah, the opportunity that you're going to get usually isn't in your hometown because most people don't have one. And then it's what's in front of you, where are you coming from, salary expectations. There's so many variables that come into play.
Here's Lance Lang. Keeps it low. Won by Luigi Mala and a deep throw in for San Antonio. Boy, what a good re-signing Lance Lang was for San Antonio after coming over from FC Cincinnati. Good ball in again, and Billy Forbes was about a millisecond off in terms of timing of putting San Antonio back in the league. Here's Parano. And it's going to be a foul called right at the edge of the penalty area. And Christian Parano quickly becoming a crowd favorite here at Toyota.
Let's give the referee some credit here as well, because as this ball makes its way to the back post, watch Parano. He collects it just outside of the box. When he beats the one-on-one and goes to byline, there's a foul that's had just outside. The ball doesn't make its way across. Badawi lets them play on, and when it doesn't happen, he then goes back to the spot. There's a bit of dissent by Amadou Dia, going to end up in the book for it. Good refereeing, but Phoenix, got to keep your head on a swivel. Can't let that happen.
So Amadou Dia has shown the first yellow card of the 2019 season. I think he was running at probably about 10 or 11 to 1 odds, where Solo was probably even money. Lang whips it in. Added some stink to it.
Phoenix playing with fire. Lance Lang. Another dangerous ball right across the middle of the box. Musa having words with Waz, didn't necessarily hear the call to step in. And the boys in white let it run over the end line. Goal kick hanging by a wire right now.
Thanks to our friends at Jackson's Car Wash. You get a free car wash with every Phoenix Rising ticket. Visit phxrisingfc.com/Jacksons for more information. Another early delivery dealt with by Dia. Kai Green up for the header. Dia's header only as far as Pirano. Kai Green back for the Argentinian. Some neat moves, but broken up by Junior Flemings. Musa in for Lambert. And that's a sixth sense you just cannot teach. Feeling that pressure, knowing where the defender is coming and where your first touch needs to go, and where you can relieve the pressure. Solo sprays it over to the bottom of your screen for Amadou Dia. Flemings. John turns away from the 1-2. Back for Adam John. Dumbuya looking to get to the byline. Gets it away and cleared away by Jidic, and a corner coming up for Phoenix, and there is the blazing speed of Dumbuya on display, but he went crashing into that Chick-fil-A stanchion.
Keep an eye just below the seat. You can actually see his body mark where he went into it. Those are his cleats that came off of it. Most of the fans not happy with him going to ground, but all of that noise reverberated throughout the stadium. Like you said, Tyler, that speed gets to the byline, plays the ball across, nice tackle at the end of it, and then his body just funnels right through it all.
And between the speed of Dumbuya, obviously we hope he's going to be able to continue, and Amadou Dia, the message from the coaching staff to the strikers has to be just get to the box. The ball will get there. And that's, of course, something that Junior Flemings took to heart, as this corner is handled awkwardly by San Antonio. Lining it up was Musa. Might fall for Dia. Batista trying to wiggle his way out of pressure. Dia wins it back. Jockeying with Pekka. And Dia needs to be careful, already on a yellow card. It'll be a free kick, nothing more.
Amadou Dia not happy. He felt he was challenged right here, and that's just the two of them going at it.
That can't be a no call, though.
It's definitely not a no call. You can only let the boys play so much, but as you said, 37 minutes in, sitting on a yellow card. Got to walk the fine line for the rest of the match, which is never a fun thing to do as a defender. If you're Phoenix right now, just keep your emotions at bay, try and get into the locker room. You could steal something great, but just get in at 1-1, regroup, and come out refreshed in the second half.
Here's Lang. Guzman. That's one way to do it.
It's cute. Unnecessary, but cute.
If you're Darren Powell, are you pleased with that?
No, not at all. That's one where in a training session you break his ankle. It's a little dramatic.
If you're saying in a training session, if you're on Ever Guzman's team, you break his ankle.
I break his ankle, absolutely.
See, that's where you and I just
we get along so well.
Page.
I know, yeah. Me and you, buddy. Apples and oranges.
Corner kick brought to you by Carvana and won by Adam John. Here's Flemings on the turn. And Kai Green probably having covered for pace there. It's not many foot races he's going to lose. Actually was at Seton Hall University from 2011 to 2014. Ends up going to RGV. And who follows him to RGV in 2018, Devin?
Thurston Etcheverry.
His head coach at Seton Hall.
Surprised things didn't work out there, but you have to understand for RGV, the relationship with Kai Green probably didn't progress because Houston Dynamo were no longer interested in keeping an eye on it.
Billy Forbes putting the brakes on. Sliding it through. Lang on his right foot. Wants it back on his left. Gets the cross away. Forbes! Wasn't far off at all. talk about those left footers again, Devin. And it's something about lefties that I'm sure you know. The right foot is almost non-existent, and Lance was always coming back to his left foot.
You know it's there. That's the only option he has, is to cut it back across. But keep an eye on how they're rotating across the field. They are not worried about drifting to the right side whatsoever. Billy Forbes has primarily been lined up over there. Guzman's floating around up top. But both Lance Lang and Jack Barmby have been wandering a bit, always coming from side to side, and that's where that space is opening up. Once again, though, when Amadou Dia stepped up, Batista did not slide over. Dia gets caught out of position. That is communication. That starts with Carl Wazinski. He's got to get these boys back on track.
Dia gambles and loses the hand. Here's Billy Forbes now. Sizing up Batista. Forbes! Well, it just seemed like he was going to get one. Got it on that electric left foot. And beats Waz at the near post of the upper corner. Billy Forbes against his former squad of 2018. A terrific goal, and San Antonio lead 2-1.
You know where he's going every single time. The gamble does not pay off by Amadou Dia. Flat-footed Batista. All you have to do is push him to the end line. Put it on his right foot and make him beat you down on the byline. That's not the case. Comes back across the body and just unleashes. Credit to Billy Forbes. He knows exactly where his strengths are, and he sticks to them. But the defending by Phoenix Rising, once again, Dia gets beat. Batista actually slid over that time, gets flat, does not push him to the end. And I like the idea from Lambert to drop back into the middle, but as the progression comes across, he doesn't step up into the space, and you just let him have a go.
Coming up at halftime, we're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. Hear from players about the pressure of being the defending Western Conference champs. Plus, Adam John reveals his puppy love. And if you haven't checked out Adam John's lightning question answering from your Phoenix CW Twitter account, please go and have a look. It is quality stuff.
French toast.
I mean, who does that?
Good for him. Good for him.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I'm probably right there. I probably would have said something weird like beignets or something.
Crepes.
Crepes. Those thin little pancakes? Love those things. His dogs. I like the dog segment as well. That's a fun one that you're going to catch at halftime. We got a little bit of preview on it. Although the names, we're going to have to question with Gunner. That's a hard one for me. John, I respect it. Named him after the team that shall not be mentioned or come out of my mouth. Being a Liverpool fan, we're not going to talk about the Gooners.
No.
The Gooners. Adam John showing you that he's not just a force to be reckoned with on the field, but a great person off. Kind of him to let you into his life and give you an idea of what it's like as a footballer from a personal level.
And from the day that they announced him being signed, I mean, he's been all over social media, engaging with the community. It's really been excellent to see. Flemings. Good stuff here. Aguinaga back for Flemings. Lasses it across. John! Speak of the devil! Junior Fleming sets up Adam John right at the doorstep. And Phoenix had their equalizer in the 43rd.
Adam John, did we tee you up enough, buddy? All the pressure and praise coming back to Adam John, who does well. He actually checked the first time. Amadou Dia didn't play it in. And silly, I thought the play had broken down. Junior Flemings makes a great move. Bit of a fortuitous bounce outside. Nice ball right back across. Textbook finish by the number 9 up top. Didn't think it was going to be 2-2. I said, Phoenix, get into halftime and make sure it's level. If you can steal something, great. Well, they might have just done so to levy things up.
So Adam John joins Junior Flemings, is opening up their Phoenix Rising FC goal scoring accounts. And we are all level again. Is there another for Phoenix? Flemings trying to get around Pekka. Solo. And a little bit too much on it for the Jamaican. Was off of his line and good communication with Luigi Mala. So Billy Forbes sees what he might have thought in his head as a game-winning goal quickly evaporate. And one of the biggest things that Rick Schantz said about Adam John is his intelligent movement off the ball, which is going to open up space for his teammates. And obviously hoping to pile up on the score sheet as well. And the foul against Fleming's there.
Junior doesn't agree.
No.
The system suits his style a bit better than what was going on for the Rowdies and Neil Collins. To be fair, if Tampa Bay gets him 2 years ago, that's probably when they were at their best and how things were moving as rapidly as they'd like them to. But
well, that was an Al Lang was a fortress. Could not get a point there.
And that was the back end of Thomas Ronjan and the beginning of Stuart Campbell when never went in.
And a young Joe Cole.
Yeah, you never went in there and dealt with anything. Young Joe Cole. You never went in there and got a point. And the question for them was not about what they could do at home, but what they could do on the road. And then last year, things just went sour out in the East for them.
4 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half in San Antonio. Junior Flemings and Adam John, the goal scorers for Phoenix Rising in their opener of 2019. And for San Antonio, Ever Guzman and Billy Forbes. And no, it was not an own goal. He was always going to get one. Good cutback from Barmby. Here's Guzman, and he pulls it wide. Crowd wanted a foul. Devin, did you think it was at the top of the box?
It's difficult because there were a couple guys going, and the view that you could see, definitely lobbying for it. Take a look after the play when the ball bounced out. Everybody's just standing around again. Rick Schantz is not going to be happy with his defending core. Distribution out of the back. Barmby, there's the touch, the turn. Nothing there. Goes to ground too easily. Guzman comes right across it. 3 Phoenix Rising defenders standing with their arms up right in front. Carl Wazinski has got to be furious for the lack of defending going on.
Credit to San Antonio, though, because when Lang and Barmby and Billy have gotten on the ball, they've looked dynamic, and they've looked good on the ball. As Asante threading this one through for Dumbuya. Goes back for Lambert. Solo. Difficult ball to handle for Kai Green. Did really well in the end. Lamar Batista sees his header go out of play. I mean, the biggest positive for Phoenix in this first half, Dev, probably just the resiliency and the ability to just battle in the first game of the season.
They're lucky to be at 2-2 at halftime.
Oh, I agree.
For sure. And I think the other thing that you have to look at as silver lining is getting some confidence in your big guy up top just before halftime. In my notes here, and we'll talk about it at halftime, was the lackluster performance by Adam John. That's not necessarily him on his own, but Phoenix not getting him in. You got to give the ball, feed the big guy, get the ball into his feet, let him run off it a little bit, hold the ball up, and they really weren't playing to any of those suits whatsoever. Everything was one-on-one down in the channel. Why not come inside, then go back outside? The first time they did that, they got a goal out of it.
Solo. John flicks it on. Now bringing it down. Trying to get back into the area for Batista. John battling his way through, but cleared away. run by Flemings. Kevon Lambert. Well done to find Aginaga. John let it run through. Wasn't a bad idea at all. Pirano trying to keep it in play and ends up winning a throw-in for San Antonio, which is really well done. They'll probably squander any chance for Phoenix to be able to muster something up before the halftime whistle. That Adam John dummy got you out of your seat a little bit.
That's the stuff that I'm talking about, where Adam John, he's 28 years of age, but doesn't get the run to the front post, realizes what's going on behind him, just a little dummy, let somebody else get onto it.
Well, an entertaining first half of the season, to say the least. Billy Forbes getting one against his former team to make it 2-1, but Adam John leveled it. And that was all right after Ever Guzman and Junior Flemings traded goals. It's halftime here at Toyota. We'll step aside. Phoenix and San Antonio 2-2 after 45 minutes. Where do we go from here? You'll have to stick around to find out.
Is the Sanderson Ford Cape Creek Rodeo. Friday, March 22nd through Sunday, March 24th at Cape Creek Memorial Arena. 3 full PRCA rodeo performances with Serby Brothers Rodeo Championship Rough Stock. And Friday after the rodeo at Harold's Corral, it's Nashville recording artist Dylan Carmichael. Now during Truck Month, choose from 300 new F-150 trucks starting at $27,900 or 0% financing for 72 months. 300 Super Duty trucks starting at $38,900. Get a pair of rodeo tickets for a test drive while they last. Tickets at CapeCreekRodeo.com.
People everywhere are confusing Quilted Northern for a bouncy castle. They're both durable, flexible, and nice to have at parties. But Quilted Northern is not a bouncy castle. It's just really nice toilet paper.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Airwick knows life moves too fast to chase odors. Get automatic odor neutralization with Airwick Pure Freshmatic. Just load, click, and set to forget odors for up to 60 days. Airwick Pure Freshmatic.
I see it every day. Somebody walks into a hamburger place and thinks about getting their usual hamburger. And then that light bulb goes off in their head. Like, maybe I should switch it up a bit. Maybe I should get a Reuben or a loaded Italian. Or a market fresh turkey ranch and bacon. And that's how they should think, duh.
Arby's, we have the meat.
For sandwiches.
It's finally here, the season opener for your Phoenix Rising. I'm Chloe Moore, and we're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. Welcome to halftime. This year's team is getting a whole lot of attention. Coming off last year's Western Conference Championship, hopes are high for a repeat and even more. So we sent Jay Russell to talk with some of the guys about what we can expect.
We always have high expectations of ourselves, and we want to be the best we can be. And so, you know, just working hard and seeing how far we can go.
And with the 2019 season officially underway, players hope their off-season training pays off.
I did a lot of personal training when it comes to my speed, my defending, my touches on the ball, my decision-making, who I'm going to pass to, knowing what I'm going to do before I get the ball, so things like that.
And as the defending Western Conference champions, they know it's not going to be easy.
Believe me, it's going to be tough because if you are champion, the club, you know, the fans, everyone will expect more. And then the other clubs, when they are playing against us, they will come in tough. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough.
Everybody that was there and everyone that's returning from last year has that fire in their belly and, you know, something to go improve.
The players are excited, and so is the team's head coach. This will be the first full season as head coach for Rick Shantz.
This year I get to kind of put my thumbprints on the team. We get to be a little bit more of who I am and the way I want to see the game played. We brought in a lot of new players. We're a little bit younger, but hopefully it's the future of Phoenix Rising.
The future looks bright. Coach Shantz is a native of Tucson. He coached soccer down there for 20 years before coming up to the Valley. Still ahead here at halftime, we are getting to know Adam John, from a date with his dogs to a deep dive on some very probing personal questions. So stay right there. You're kicking it with your Phoenix CW.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
For comfort food at a comfortable price, try my sourdough patty melt combo with fries and a drink for just $4.99. It's the perfect remedy for the uncomfortable things in life, like flying, the dentist, and guys named Ronald. I have my reasons. Try my $4.99 sourdough patty melt combo today.
Hey, you, the one with the designer dog collar. Wondering how I upgraded to this sweet pad? A 1,200 square foot bathroom and my very own spa. All I had to do was give my human the look. With Wells Fargo's 3% down payment on a fixed rate loan and a simpler online application, getting into my dream home was easier than ever. Get your human to visit wellsfargo.com/woof. What would she do without me?
My $4.99 sourdough patty melt combo comes with 100% beef, grilled onions, and 2 types of melty cheese on toasted sourdough, plus fries and a drink. It's comfort food for the uncomfortable things in life. Yep, this guy knows what I'm talking about. Try my $4.99 sourdough patty melt combo.
The wait is over. The Phoenix Rising home opener is here. And this Saturday, they'll be welcoming in one of the newest Western Conference teams, New Mexico United. It's game time on Saturday at 7:30, only on your Phoenix CW.
March 27th, Jane the Virgin moves to Wednesdays.
Ooh, that's a good sign, right?
Jane the Virgin, starting Wednesday, March 27th.
Adam John's #1 love might be soccer, but off the field, it's a golden blonde that has his heart. So I caught up with him, and it's a real case of puppy love. Today, we're here at Smelly Dog AC in Phoenix, getting to know Adam, but also his furry friend, Nala. So let's go.
This is our first official bath, professional bath.
Nala is one of 2 dogs that you have.
Yeah, she's my second, and she's about 6 months old. The first few months were a little rough, but you get the hang of it.
How did you decide on their names?
She's named after Nala from The Lion King. I named Gunner after my favorite English Premier League team.
Smelly Dog is a one-stop shop for dogs and cats. Do self-serve washing if you want to come in and do it yourself, or you can drop your dogs off and we do it for you.
Do the other guys on the team like dogs?
Yeah, they all do. They see me walking them around pretty much every day. Yeah. So if we run into each other, we'll say hi.
She's kind of calm now.
Yeah.
She's a little more into it. Why Goldens? Is that just your favorite?
Yeah, I grew up with Goldens. I had 2 when I was a kid. All right, do we dry them or is there towels?
That's so good. That's so good.
Do you have any treats?
Yes, they're actually pretty tasty. Do you want to try it?
I guess I have to now. Guess I'll have to start eating these before games. Maybe we'll stick to towels, but they're just really loyal, outdoorsy, good dogs. They just want to please you.
There's more with Adam John right after this break. From food to pop culture, we put him in the hot seat for some rapid fire questions. You're kicking it with your Phoenix CW.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
Here's your Buick, sir. Actually, that's my Buick.
Your Buick doesn't have a roof rack. This
Buick.
Easy.
I like that new Buick.
Me too.
I was actually talking about that Buick.
I knew that.
Did you?
Buick's fresh new lineup is full of surprises. It's March Madness. Get a sweet 16% below MSRP on most of these Buick models.
How did we test our Dixie Ultra plates? With 2 pounds of steak in each hand. Dixie Ultra. Stress tested so you can stress less at dinner.
This is Charlie not coughing because he took Delsum 12-hour. And this is Charlie still not coughing while trying his hardest not to wake Zeus. Delsum 12-hour. Nothing lasts longer for powerful cough relief.
Having the Phoenix Rising games here on your Phoenix CW means a lot of new people are getting a look at the sport. That's going to be huge for the growth of soccer here in Arizona.
You have a whole generation now of kids that are going to be watching Phoenix Rising on TV all the time. And I think in turn that will drive them to want to come to games. And when they start to feel that passion and that energy, I think you'll get more people wanting to be a part of it.
Every game, every week, right here on your Phoenix CW. And now, some quick questions with Adam John. Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Dine-in or delivery?
Dine-in.
Uber or Lyft?
Uber.
Ronaldo or Messi?
Messi.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Phone call or text?
Text.
Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter.
Shootout or blowout?
Shootout.
Soup or sandwich?
What?
Soup or sandwich?
Oh. Sandwich.
Hamburgers or tacos?
Hamburgers.
Pancakes or waffles?
French toast.
Good answer. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Beer or wine?
Beer.
Barcelona or Manchester City?
Barcelona.
Horror movie or comedy?
Comedy.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead?
Game of Thrones.
Flash or Green Arrow?
Flash.
Bend it like Beckham or kicking and screaming?
Kicking and screaming.
Fullback or goalkeeper?
Goalkeeper.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Jennifer Lawrence or Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett Jo.
And now, important question, Drake or Post Malone?
Drake.
Another. Will Ferrell or Will Smith?
Will Smith.
Header or bicycle kick?
Bike.
Weights or yoga?
I gotta say yoga. But weights.
Can I say that right? Snow or sun?
Sun.
And lastly, sneakers or sandals?
Sandals.
Hey soccer fans, we love when you post to social media. So when you do, make sure you're using the hashtag RisingOnCW. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We want to see your spirit, so hashtag RisingOnCW.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
That's it for halftime. You've been kicking it with your Phoenix CW. I'm Chloe Marr. Thank you so much for watching. Second half starts right now. That's it for halftime. You've been kicking it with your Phoenix CW. I'm Chloe Marr. Thank you so much for watching. Second half starts right now.
San Antonio 2-2 at the break, and number 7 for Phoenix Rising, as well as number 9 have opened their Phoenix Rising scoring accounts Junior Flemings and Adam John both finding equalizers in the first 45 minutes. And speaking of number 7, Devin and I have both crushed 7 Krispy Kreme donuts between the two of us. But that's neither here nor there, as we are almost set for the second half between these two great Western Conference clubs. Am I wrong?
I'd like to be clear for my wife at home. I only had 1. He had 6.
Speaking of multiples, the defending champions, Louisville City FC, didn't do much defending at all today.
They looked terrible at NCFC.
4-1 loss.
Dave Sarakin had his squad organized, but I'll tell you, former Louisville City man Cameron Lancaster opened his account today for Nashville SC getting on the board. So did a new addition, another North Carolina man, Daniel Rios.
Yep. Well, you saw the expansion clubs that are all getting set to go. Alston Bold is going to be in action against Las Vegas Lights FC later tonight. A good up-close and personal look at Ever Guzman, who got things started in the first 7 minutes, as we're officially underway for the second half here at Toyota. Tyler Terrens along with the ex-German pro Devin Kerr. Thank you so much for tuning in on your Phoenix CW. 45 minutes left as Phoenix and the silver and black duking it out in a goal-scoring bonanza. And the foul's going to go against Pekka, much to his dismay. Devin, first half, bit of an enigma, and I think that that's putting it mildly. Phoenix, I don't think that we're hurting anybody's feelings or saying anything outlandish when we can go ahead and say that they were not great in the first half by any stretch of the imagination, but should probably count themselves lucky that it's 2-2, but showing a lot of resiliency along the way.
You have to wonder what the conversation was like for Rick Schantz and his squad at halftime. I can guarantee you it wasn't polite, to say the least. But again, you have to get Adam John involved on a more regular basis. The defending suspect is being nice. The back four, better communication, better spacing, better marking. That is the 5th or 6th ball that James Musa has given away today, twice in the past minute. He's got to start figuring things out. But never fleet of foot. Carl Wazinski, we talked to him, and he talked about having to play more out of the back. There's a good representation, recognizing the threat, coming off of his line. It's going to be interesting to see what they ask of him from a distribution standpoint going forward, if they're going to carry this philosophy Rick Schantz told us about.
Well, we'll get to more on that in a moment as Jack Barmby whips in a dangerous cross and the glancing header from Guzman. Never troubling Carl Wazinski. And Waz let us in on something fun that in the Real Salt Lake friendly, Rick Schantz and the coaching staff said to both Lubin and Waz, you are not allowed to kick the ball long. If you're under pressure, which Real Salt Lake put them a lot under, you have to keep it. I mean, it's a great exercise in a game that obviously doesn't really count anything from a competitive standpoint, and to really drill it into these guys' heads that we are going to keep the ball, especially when we're in our own defensive third, so that we can play out of the back, break the pressure, and then go forward with numbers in space.
Was talked about it's a bit different when you've got a forward coming at you 100 miles an hour, and you can't just knock it long. Long gone are the days, from his mouth, long gone are the days where you can just put it up in the middle, hope one of your forwards runs up underneath it. Have to be more tactile with the ball in this day and age, and he understands that. He understands the role they want, and it really proves your worth to the club as well. You become much more of an asset than just kick and go. Now you become an extra field player to help space out the defense.
And if you're Darren Powell, that halftime conversation looks a lot different from Rick Schantz, but that's the beautiful game in a first half, is that the two conversations are going to be completely different, and I'm sure Darren Powell says, keep going, let's just tighten things up a little bit defensively, but from an offensive standpoint, they couldn't really do much wrong in the first half.
They both probably said the same thing. What are you guys doing? Phoenix saying, what are you doing? Literally, get it together. This isn't what we're supposed to look like. Darren Powell saying, what are you doing? You should be up 2-3, 4-0, not knotted up after 45 minutes.
Waz sends it away. We asked him where he draws his influence from as Adam John hits the deck, and a free kick for Phoenix now, saying that he's a Man United fan. Obviously, David De Gea at the top of his list. Also a big fan of Hugo Lloris and Tottenham, who had an extremely difficult loss today against Southampton, where they gave up a 1-goal lead in about a 10-minute span. And one of our fantastic producers and directors with us, Gage Tillotson, not all too happy about it. Executive producer in the USL, Brad Baker, in the same boat as well. And hopefully Liverpool will be able to sneak out 3 points tomorrow, Dev. We'll see.
There's no hopes.
I mean,
like Yoda, do or do not. There is no try. Just maybe try for another donut later.
Lucky number 7? I didn't have any.
See you soon, Case. On my way home. Hey, Brad Baker's pretty funny. You get an opportunity, folks, jump on Twitter. Go check him out. He's fun.
At Whistle and Thumb. He's the executive producer of the USL, and to say that he's opinionated is putting it quite lightly.
Very lightly. 5 minutes
Viewer
in.
discretion is advised with that Twitter account as well.
Agreed, for sure. 5 minutes in and more of the same from the boys in white so far. It's touch and go. Very spotty with their performance, and what really irks me is, you know, the defending is what we questioned last year going into the season, and it was amazing right from the get-go. Offense took a little bit of time to get going, and then the floodgates opened, and we know where that went. Really thought defending was once again going to be a strong suit and not a question mark at all, and that hasn't been the case so far. And it's translating into the middle of the field. Not impressed with what I've seen out of James Musa so far, and Lambert's been good but not great. One of those guys has to step up and really fulfill that role in the middle of the field. Things are too flat. That's why San Antonio was able to find so many gaps. They've closed them down a bit here in the second half, but giving too many balls away.
Diaz sends one into the corner perfectly for Adam John, who was jockeying with Josh Yarrow. Surrendering a deep throw in for Phoenix now. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Ball sent ahead to Ijimala. Cooley back for Waz. And he appreciates an authoritative header back to him. Makes his life a lot easier. And even that clearance from Waz, it's intended for somebody, and obviously got to Junior Flemings. And Fleming's going to be called for the foul here.
Junior not happy with the referee, and you always get caught on the second one, and he wasn't wrong, but Kai Green disguised it very well from the head referee. Junior just saying he's got my arm. It's always the second one where the referee circles back around and points it in your direction. A lot of fiery emotion from the Jamaican here this evening. Got a goal and assist under his belt, though.
Scores to keep an eye on in the Western Conference. Tulsa and T2 tied up at 1-1 in the 84th minute. OKC with a 1-0 lead over El Paso. New Mexico and Fresno just underway in the 12th minute. As James Musa coming in the foul there. And good to see him fully fit. Had that unfortunate knock at the end of the season last year and missed the entire postseason, Dev.
Phoenix felt that one too. That was the tail end of the year where Chris Cortez was injured, James Musa was injured. It was funny going into the final, as Cameron Lancaster was hurt as well, and so many big names.
Cortez.
Yeah, that had steered their teams all season long and didn't have the opportunity to represent the penultimate game, but good opportunity in 2019. Again, we've talked to both squads, San Antonio and Phoenix, and all the work they did in the offseason. We'd like to see some more out of Phoenix and that transition Rick Shantz talked to us about. There's a good look at some of the boys on the sideline. Blair Gavin, Corey Robertson, and the main man, Rambo,
the
Pete
main
Ramage.
mustache man. But what are we giving it at this point in time on a scale of 1 to 10?
Hammer the mustache.
Slip through, Guzman, what a save from Waz. Best chance in the second half for either team so far. Ever Guzman has already got a goal to his name. Denied by an outstretched toe of Carl Wazinski.
Fancy footwork just now in your screen from Ever Guzman. He was taking notes from Carl Wazinski. Once again, the youngster, Pirano, 19 years old, 19 on the field, plays a good ball in behind, trailing run. Once again, Duichi Mala coming over late, but Carl Wazinski up to the task, slides over to the 6 and just pushes it to the side of the bar.
Lance Lane to take the corner. Adam John gets a foot to it. First really big save of the night for Carl Wazinski. Aginaga laying it off for John. Adam John, great footwork out wide for Dumbuya. Towards the back post, and a little bit too much on it. But that was probably the most fluid move we've seen from Phoenix going forward.
Exactly what you want to see them doing on a regular basis. He knows it. He got a little bit under it. You see it float to the back post, but the idea and the thought process was there. Just lacking in execution so far, but better from the boys in white.
Luigi Mala called for the foul. Pirano for Billy Forbes. Getting around Batista. Forbes. And is that just a glaring miss from Ever Guzman on the doorstep?
Had some pressure coming from Mustafa Dumbuya on the backside. Credit to Billy Forbes. Once again, on his left foot, bringing it across his body, getting to the byline. Lamar Batista has not been impressive tonight, and that is, you missed a sitter, my friend. Taxi.
I mean, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast when he scored how he probably wasn't going to see any easier this year. Didn't think it was going to quite happen in this game. Billy Forbes is feeling himself against his former mates. Still with it. Aginaga finally gets a touch to it, and Yaro's effort. Always steering wide. It's amazing what a change of scenery and a change of system can do for somebody like Billy Forbes. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of Phoenix fans at home right now that are scratching their heads saying, where was this guy for the entire 2018 season?
The thing with Billy Forbes as well is it wasn't just his time in Phoenix. There were a lot of other things going on behind the scenes. Turks and Caicos player getting the opportunity to represent his country. When you're in and out, traveling, national duty, and then coming back, maybe you didn't play the week before, someone else has a good game, now you're sitting on the bench. Maybe you played well for your country, but you're not going to get a look at the club level. You start to second guess yourself in your mind. Then when you do get the reps and the opportunity to step forward, it's the one wrong touch there. The doubt starts to creep in. You may be world class in training, and it just doesn't translate to the pitch.
We had some ups and downs in the CONCACAF Nations League with Turks and Caicos. I mean, they got an absolute smacking in one of their first games, and then they have this incredible performance and get their first win in about 5 years, where Billy Forbes ended up having a brace. And like Devin mentioned, it was just a season of many ups and downs for Billy Forbes, and it sort of translated onto the field almost directly, as it was an up and down season. Chidic wins the header. Junior Flemings ripped down. And a free kick for Phoenix now, and a yellow card for Kai Green.
The third time Kai Green has done something, especially right in front of the referee. And once again, it's just that outstretched arm when he reaches back, grabs him. That time on the back of the net. Referee saw it right in front of him, issues the yellow card. Go about your business, my friend.
Aguinaga. That's a terrific ball in, asking a lot of questions. San Antonio made a mess of it. Back in, off of Jidic's head. And a corner coming up for Phoenix. And Jose Aguinaga seems to be the man of choice with those set pieces that are more so the delivery variety, and he has been spot on with it. Can't say the same for Amir Jidic on that particular spot. Aguinaga near post, won by Yaro, and we'll do it one more time. Corner kicks, as always, brought to you by our friends over at Carvana. Dia. Header won by Phoenix. John trying to get there, and he's just tossing his weight around, and he's most certainly going to get a card for that. So Adam John sees his first mustard with Phoenix in the 61st.
It's a bit of frustration by the big guy. Good job by Lambert on the back post. Second one is Fleming's once again, and Adam John just trailing in there, and that's difficult as a forward because you're so tall and you see the challenge there that you want to get stuck in, feel you can win the battle. Just about a half step behind the likes of Kai Green. Adam John never one to shy away from a challenge, gets stuck in, shown the card. And you and I just looking at each other, Tyler. I wonder at what point in time Rick Shantz is going to go to his bench here. And you brought up Aguinaga and how he's been in set ball situations, but you haven't really seen a bunch from him from a distribution standpoint. Would expect him to go to the bench soon. My money would be on Devin Vega coming in.
Parano yanks it wide.
Parano, once again, number 19. We talked about left footers. It's a good looking man. Very impressed by the youngster and what he's been able to do tonight. Just go back to my point there, Tyler. I like the move for Devin Vega. We talked about Luigi Mala and how he maybe hasn't fulfilled his expectations based upon what Rick Shantz said, how he's come in flying around training. Devin Vega was another one that kind of he shared the same sentiments about. The youngster who previously a product of the San Antonio Football Club. Had a nice campaign in 2018. They look to build on that here in the USL Championship season.
Phoenix's press looking more and more dangerous as Junior Fleming's able to win it back. But he is stripped by Kai Green. And that pass running out of play. And we do apologize. It was time for the Sonic Happy Hour in the 60th minute, but basically the entirety of the 60th minute was spent with some disciplinary action for Adam John and getting his yellow card. But if a Rising player were to have scored in the 60th minute, one lucky fan gets $500 Sonic gift card. For more info, visit phxrisingfc.com. Lance Lang trying to pick out the far corner. It took a deflection, and a corner coming up for San Antonio.
This is lucky it takes the deflection. Lance Lang has this knotted up in that corner. Definitely has the wizard beat for sure. Ooh.
It almost went in with the deflection.
Right off the bat. How about Lance Lang in the resurgence of his career, being loaned to San Antonio at the end of last year? He's made a nice home for himself.
Talk about a guy who had 10 appearances, 5 goals, and 6 assists after coming over from Cincinnati on loan. Parano again. He's been electric. Here's Barmby. And good defensive play from James Musa. Amadou Dia out of pressure. Kai Green stepping forward. Green around 2 defenders. And now a free kick for San Antonio. Devin Kerr was wagging his finger Dikembe Mutombo style. Dev.
He slips. It's Kai Green who loses his balance coming out of the back. Give credit to the defender when he stepped up in front of Adam John. But from there, you could just see he had no clue where his body was going, trying to play catch-up. He actually slips, and the ball falls out from underneath him. Referee blows a foul. Don't agree whatsoever. Casey's listening. Breach. You gotta stick up, you know?
You gotta stick up, but I also think that the 4th Krispy Kreme donut has not done you any good.
I haven't had 4.
You're right, you've had 5.
No. Boy, this is Lance Lang. He's feeling himself right now.
A bit too central now.
This is actually one of the most difficult spots for Waz. Lang can go near post or far post, bring it across his body.
Well, the wall will dictate where he almost has to go, no?
This almost assuredly, from the way that it looked there, he would be going to Waz's left side.
Yep. Lang straight into the wall. Good play from Junior Flemings. Look at the numbers the other way for Phoenix. Flemings leading the charge, finding Solo. Solomon Asante completely closes off his hips, but Solo appreciating the effort from Flemings, who got the ball into the dangerous territory. And you could tell he just rushed that at the very end.
It's really the only chance you've seen him have all game long to have a shot at goal.
Comes San Antonio the other way. Luigi Mala. Some good recovery speed. Ripped down by Jack Barmby. Quick slap boxing match.
Best friends.
Why can't we make up like that ever?
Never.
This usually ends in blood. Here's Barmby. Lang back for the Englishman. Bending it in. Lamar Batista, the header, only as far as Guzman. Mala needs to be careful here. Never Guzman wins it back. Lang, first time delivery. Won by Amadou Dia. Lambert is late. And another free kick for San Antonio. And now it's the home side who's starting to put the clamps down on Phoenix.
Lambert didn't feel that he got him. He doesn't get him, does he?
It's clever from Barmby, though.
It's very smart, the progression coming through. You expect him to stick his foot out. He doesn't, and just falls right over it. Good stuff from Jack Barmby. Very clever. Another dangerous opportunity from San Antonio. Not the distance to where Lance Lang, or from the angle where he's going to have a go, but still big bodies in the back post.
Lang delivery. Oh, it's just over the bar, and Amir Džidić. Not necessarily the sitter that Ever Guzman missed, but definitely a variable chance for Džidić.
Right on cue, 6'4" center back Amir Džidić. The Canadian trying to get up. He does. To be honest, he jumps a bit late. I don't even. He either needs to jump earlier, or just sit and let it come right to him. Doesn't do so. Questionable marking once again. There has been a lot that's gone on for Phoenix on the back line that is not to like.
A little more than 20 minutes left in this game, and we're going to have a debut sighting coming off the bench for San Antonio FC as Jamison IV is going to come on and replace Ever Guzman. Radford Jamison IV coming over from the Los Angeles Galaxy, more recently LA2, and replacing Guzman in the 69th minute. And Guzman with a pretty strong showing in his first 69 minutes of work or so of 2019. Here's Pirano. Lambert getting a touch to it. And Musa's pulled down. And it's a clever foul from Jamison, who is preventing the counterattack going the other way. Now it's Aguinaga. John goes to ground, gets it right. Solo. Adam John again. Asante out for Dumbuya. Dumbuya's delivery off of Lang. Cardoni racing off of his line. And he gets a strong fist to it. Adam John caught the brunt of it, and it's an apparent head injury, and fair play to Malik Badawai, who immediately signals for the athletic training staff to come on.
Cardoni knows it too, because he came over the back trying to punch this ball out and caught the back of Adam John's head. Nice fair play by the goalkeeper to step up and make sure the forward's okay. Ball gets lost in La La Land, the two just trying to challenge for it. Actually gets the ball, and as he follows through, that's the elbow of Cardoni that catches the back of Adam John.
It's almost worse. And Adam John just getting a word from the athletic trainer, just making sure that he's all right. A quick little concussion protocol test, and it looks like John's all right. I mean, you'd almost rather take the close-fisted glove of Matt Cardoni as opposed to his elbow, as Adam John silences the crowd here. And 20 minutes left. 2 substitutes remaining for Darren Powell. All 3 at Rick Schatz's disposal. Amadou Dia. Ty Green lets it run through, keeps it in play. Well done from Dia. James Musa switching the point of attack. Inch perfect ball for Solo. Trying to get on the right side. We have another Ghanaian, and Ebi Akan. And he is taken down. Daring play from the 23-year-old dribbling out of the back like that.
Definitely don't want to see your left back coming all the way across the field to leave you exposed. Not lacking confidence, former Bowling Green man.
Billy Forbes left it behind, now working on Lamar Batista. He's had his number the entire night so far. Keeps it low. Jamison. And it's Luigi Mala who ends up putting in a very important challenge. Solo, a crowd favorite at Toyota. Aginaga. Working with the captain now. Former Red Bulls 2-man. Back to Asante. Kevon Lambert. Dia. In for John. Lambert gets it right back. Nice move. Kevon Lambert. And that's exactly what you want to see out of the young Jamaican. If he can score goals from that position, and any midfielder for that matter, to be able to score from the middle of the field, it is such a deadly weapon, and Kevon Lambert was not far off.
Nice ball movement by Phoenix, and that's the tiki-taka touches that Rick Schatz talks about, where they want to go in transition, but they can also slow it down, get in and out of tight spaces. Lambert oozing with confidence just at the top of the box, almost able to beat Cardoni.
Was off of his line, beating Billy Forbes to it. And Rick Schatz told us a great story last year. They were always working on with Lambert on his finishing and his placement. And a first-time ball went into Lambert during a finishing exercise. And Rick Schatz screams,
"Place it.
Place it." And Kevon Lambert hits it as hard as humanly possible, and I think sends it into the next county. And Rick Schatz says to Kevon, "We said place it." He goes, "I thought you said lace it." And now Junior Fleming shown a yellow card. in the 75th.
Saw that one coming, didn't we? He's definitely kept Pirano much quieter here in the second half compared to the first, so credit to Flemings, who's doing double duty. It's caught out of position a little bit.
Pirano's got a future, though.
Yeah, he's impressive for sure.
He's very impressive. Flemings, look at the pace. Too far out in front of him, though. Chidic able to clean it up, but Fleming's giving him all that he can handle and then some. And don't get me wrong, Junior Flemings is a very skillful player, but he's got an A+ work rate to go with it.
Feeds right into that Phoenix Rising philosophy, the high tempo, high push. And they've done a good job, at least in the past, and we'll see what 2019 holds for them of getting everybody to buy into their philosophy as well. We use that term a lot, but that really is a big thing here, the culture that they've built out in Phoenix for this club and exactly what they're looking to do, each and every player. A mentality that goes top to bottom, both personally and professionally.
John laying it off for Musa. Dambuya. Sante picking out Dia. One for Junior Flemings, who runs into a wall named Christian Pirano. Jamison. Let's see what he was trying to do to find Billy Forbes. And fans, get your tickets now for the Phoenix Rising home opener next Saturday night. Visit phxrisingfc.com for ticket info. Pirano whistled for the foul, as it looks like we're going to get our first Phoenix substitution of the 2019 campaign. And it's going to be Aguinaga making way for local boy and San Antonio native Devin Vega, who once again returns to the club that gave him his start, the town in which he grew up in. And when we talked with Darren Powell and asked him if he has a sense of pride to see how well Devin Vega's been doing and improving, especially coming to San Antonio at such a young age and was so raw. And he said it's going to be great to see him. We love seeing our guys moving on and playing well for other clubs. And Devin Vega has only gotten better the moment that he stepped foot in the Valley of the Sun. As the referee is not going to like to play advantage. Pirano was taken down. I believe it was Luigi Malo was called for the foul. And now a dangerous set piece for Phoenix, or for San Antonio, excuse me, and Mala going into the book here in the 79th.
And Pirano this time turning on the outside, goes before and just can't do that, Luigi. You cannot. He was trying to lobby with the referee that he says he turns and I'm trying to turn my body and go with him, but he sticks his forearm out to not allow the progression of Christian Pirano, the youngster, to come forward. It's just that right across the sternum.
Now, I know a lot of old school footballers will probably call me soft for even asking this question. Is he lucky to get away with a yellow there?
Do you think it should have been more?
No, I'm just posing the question.
Oh. Yeah. No, I think yellow's appropriate.
Yellow's appropriate?
Right at the top of the box. They have momentum. They're pushing forward. It's a yellow card.
But sticking out an arm specifically to the throat, head region.
You're throwing a punch. It's a different story than putting your arm out.
I'm just, listen.
I'll show you later.
Okay. Easy.
No, but this is We saw Lance Lang a few times before. I wouldn't be surprised to see him switch it up. Watch a set-piece opportunity as well. Jack Barmby coming around on the outside, maybe playing a little bit of a trickster because they're not marking Pirano at all. And maybe he steps over, runs, and plays it, or then knocks it to the back post.
Finally, Vega goes over to cover Pirano. Barmby. Loss had to get down to make the save. And there was a host of miscommunication amongst the Phoenix wall and who was supposed to go out and cover Pirano on the near side. Jack Barmby, who came up through the likes of the Hull City and Man United Academy. Spent some time with the England youth teams as well. It's in for San Antonio. Looked like it took a deflection off a Phoenix player. Might have been Adam John. And San Antonio have their go-ahead goal in the 80th. Barmby won't get credit for it. We'll see who they give it to.
There's the left footer, Jack Barmby, and it is Adam John trying to win the battle on the near post against multiple big frames coming up. That was Jidic dropping in right behind him. Josh Yarrow and Ebia Khan on the back post that might have had something to say about it had the ball dropped, but the bid number 9 sends it into the back of his own net. The home squad out in front, 10 minutes left for Phoenix to get back in this.
Do they have a third equalizer up their sleeve? This is the third time that they've trailed in this game. And this goal, Devin, certainly stings the most, as it's Adam John, who has played a pretty solid game, truth be told, including his opening goal for Phoenix Rising, but a disastrous mistake there as Dambuya shown a yellow card here. He's now the 5th Phoenix player to see mustard.
Needs to be careful as well, both he and Solomon Asante, that he doesn't push himself further with the referee for dissent to grab a second one. They were trying to make the case that maybe he was fouled ahead of time. Ebia Khan going to ground. You're going to get a better look at what they were talking about. Felt like he was fouled there. Lance Lang, it's possible, but he initially grabs him and then comes off of him. The referee allows the progression, and Ebia Khan gets the brunt end of it. It's the point in time you go down. You've been struggling a bit here. It's been touch and go in the second half. The own goal, it'd be real easy for this to get away from them. Phoenix Rising need to show what they're made of. Stack your chips, get everybody back together, and see if you can find a way to get an equalizer and get out of here unscathed.
Jason Johnson did come onto the field during all that madness after the Adam John own goal. Big sweeping ball over for Dambuya. Solo. Working on a Khan. Asante gets the cross off. Cushion down. Vega trying to be Pirano to it. Dambuya again. We're going to have a couple of substitutions, one for either manager. It's a defensive switch for San Antonio as Michael Lahoud is going to come on. for San Antonio. But before that, Joey Calistri is going to make his Phoenix Rising debut as he'll come on in the 84th. And coming off for San Antonio is Christian Pirano, who comes off to a really nice round of applause here at Toyota, and he certainly deserves it. And the veteran Michael Lahoud coming on. Meanwhile, Phoenix able to win themselves a corner. Devin, you've had the pleasure of playing with Michael Lahoud.
A bit of a defensive substitution for Darren Powell. Michael Lahoud, guy really knows how to keep the ball stuck to his foot. Great with possession and an outlet passer, but defensively really tactile in his movements. Knows where he should be at every point in time.
Asante, won by Jidic. And look at the space for San Antonio moving the other way. Billy Forbes holding up play really nicely for San Antonio. Here's Lahoud. Kai Green now. Calistri wins the header. Jidic stepping forward to beat Vega. Barmby trying to unlock this Phoenix defense, but too much on it.
Rick Sean's definitely going for the equalizer. They've pulled holding midfielder James Musa off and brought on new addition Joey Calistri. Gambling a bit here, but he has to. He's only got 5 minutes left to play. You can see some of the space. The unnecessary turnovers that we've seen in the second half have to go away in the final minutes of this game. San Antonio has had too many opportunities with a regular run of play. They'll jump on you and really close this game out. Von Lambert has to sit a bit further and really dictate where this team is going to go now that Calistri is going to play a higher line.
Dumbuya. Calistri asking a lot out of Devin Vega. Calistri coming over from St. Louis FC, helped Anthony Pulis and the St. Louligans to their first ever postseason appearance, and St. Louis had a very nice opening day win against Indy 11, a 2-1 win after going down 1-0 in the second half. Here's Vega. Sustained pressure from Phoenix now. Asante lets it fly. And it's wide to Matt Cardoni. And up next on 2.5 Men, the boys are headed to Sin City, and they're taking Jake with them. That's next immediately following the match here on your Phoenix CW.
That's frustration right there from Solomon Asante. Didn't really get his first look till about the 65th, 70th minute mark. And since then, it hasn't been easy for the Ghanaian on the right side every single time he touches the ball. The home crowd willing to step in and let them know how they feel about him.
So you didn't like the look at all?
I don't mind the go. No, I don't mind
he
it.
Snatched that.
But that's uncharacteristic for Solomon Asante.
Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page.
I would have pulled the trigger from half field.
Well, it's irrelevant. Solo again. Wins a dangerous free kick, and it's Jack Barmby who commits the foul.
And keep an eye what they've done now. Solomon Asante and Joey Calistri have switched. Solo's tucked back inside, Calistri out to the right. Want to see as to whether or not they're going to continue to progress back and forth. They don't have a lot of time to play with it, but still keeping San Antonio guessing. No longer is the option of Didier Drogba. And what could be 30, 35, maybe even 40 yards out.
They're going to let Mala hit it. What a hit, and Cardoni makes the save. He was probably the last person you expected to hit that with the trio that was standing over the ball. And Cardoni coming up with his big contribution of the night.
Right on cue, Didier Drogba not around. His countrymen hailing from the Côte d'Ivoire. Luigi Mala, what a strike. Pulls the trigger from about 35 out. Cardone up to it. Wow.
And it traveled out of play. And Devin, I apologize for cutting you off there, but Adam John almost atoned for his sins there. And a very similar play on the defensive corner that went awry for an own goal.
And this one almost ended up on the far post behind Cardone. Phoenix making a case at the end of the game. Better look, Adam John crashes the front. You expect the trailing run to come. Unfortunately, it's too late.
Into the 91st minute. And the word is 5 minutes of stoppage time down on field level. Header won by John. Seconds won by Kai Green. Lambert. Should have been a whistle, but we're not going to get one. Back for Jamison. Now wide for Billy Forbes. Forbes saved by Waz.
Billy Forbes trying to slow things down. How this is not a foul on Lambert in the middle of the field, I'm not really sure. He gets bridged for sure. The first time all night long he's actually gone to his right. Carl Brzezinski read it well. Good job on the near post, nice save. Just tick, tick, tick. Precious seconds going away off this clock right now.
Devin Vega commits the foul on his former teammate, both at Phoenix and at San Antonio. You have to give credit to San Antonio, who are now managing these final moments extremely well.
On the reverse side of things, Solomon Asante, your captain, is not. He needs to step away from the situation. Precious time coming off the clock right now. Not happy with the call. Step back. Give them an opportunity. You know they're going to stand down there in the corner and play the small game. Let them get on with it. Go win the ball back and get going the other direction.
And Billy Forbes wisely knocks it off of Phoenix for a corner. You see Jason Johnson trying to help the situation along a little bit. Asante finally wins it back for Phoenix. Splits the double team. And the Rising are on their way. JJ. Well done from Vega. Batista needs an option. John. Now it's Lambert. Good service in. Kalistri was lining it up. Dia trying to get to the outside. Good ball in. Cardone got a touch to it. Lambert back in. JJ. Phoenix equalize. It's Jason Johnson. These boys just don't quit. 3-3, 93rd minute.
This pass out to Kevon Lambert a bit late. But when it makes its way all the way back around, guess who? He waits, takes a nice little touch and just sends it back into the mixer. The main man, Jason Johnson, for all of the ridiculous goals he scored last year. This one may not have been easier to tuck away, but still in the waning moments of the match, the Jamaican steps up and gets his boys back to level.
Three different equalizers for Phoenix on the night. Billy Forbes, cut out by Batista. Vega wins it back. Is there a game winner in store for Phoenix? Former San Antonio man, Vega leading the charge. And it's an important touch from Josh Yarrow. Cleared away by Cardone. It's a decent first touch from Batista.
It's his best one all night long, unfortunately.
Johnson trying to pick out John. It's miscommunication between Jidic and Cardone, and now Phoenix have a corner. I mean, you talk about a result that Phoenix probably does not deserve on the night if they were to go ahead and steal all 3 points.
How about that, man? He is not going to be happy.
No. Mistake from Cardone on the Johnson goal?
Yeah, that's difficult, huh? As he's tracking back, he's thinking the D across initially. He's coming to get that. He misplayed that, to be honest. The second one, I don't have a problem with. It's the first one, yeah.
Vega. And Diop sends it 15 rows up. That's going to do it full time. Phoenix Rising Football Club grind out a result on the road at Toyota against an extremely well-drilled San Antonio FC side. 3 different equalizers for Phoenix. They never led. Devin Kerr, quickly, your thoughts on the 90 minutes.
At the end of the day, just think about a fun little anagram that's jumping in here. The Triple J. You got Junior Flemings, Adam John, and Jason Johnson that were able to step in and get it done. You bred the old with the new. Get in, get out, regroup for next week.
We'll put a bow on it when we come back. Final score, San Antonio 3, Phoenix 3. Don't go anywhere.
People everywhere are confusing Quilted Northern for robes. They're both cushiony, comforting, and add elegance to your home. But Quilted Northern is not a robe. It's just really nice toilet paper.
Digestive Advantage probiotics have a strong natural protein shell. So while other brands may have billions of probiotics, many can struggle in stomach acid. Ours survive 100 times better. Let our strength help you stay strong.
Coach, it's kind of hard to see the ball.
I've been there. I had a TV service with hardly any sports in 4K. Couldn't see any of the quality details. I switched to DirecTV. Now I get the most live sports in 4K.
So how does that help me?
You know what? It really doesn't. I don't know why I told you that. Go get him, Sport.
Live sports that aren't in 4K are just Kinda TV. Switch from Dish and get a $100 reward card. Don't just Kinda TV, DirecTV.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Rivalry for
full time here in San Antonio as Phoenix Rising Football Club somehow, some way leave the Lone Star State with a point as they will return home for a 3-game homestand and their home opener of the 2019 campaign against New Mexico United. Junior Flemings, Adam John, and Jason Johnson, the goal scorers on the night. Tyler Terrens along with Devin Kerr on your Phoenix CW. Glad to have had you with us, and if you're just joining us, we'll help you out a little bit with some full-time highlights. And Devin, this match between Phoenix and San Antonio had fireworks from the very beginning, and this is not a game that Rick Schantz is going to point to at any point in the season and say this is how we should play in order to get a result on the road. But you know what? Sometimes it just works, and they found a way to make it work tonight.
You can win, and you can win ugly. Phoenix Rising proved that tonight. Look, sometimes you just have to go on the road, and you have to find a way to steal a point. That's the mark of a true champion. We saw it from Phoenix Rising last year. Great character by the boys tonight. Like you said, not the best performance. Definitely not good defending. This was the first goal that we saw by Ever Guzman. Great job by Lance Lane getting the byline. Nice ball across. Phoenix every time. When a question was asked, they had an answer. They found a way to get an equalizer. New addition, Junior Flemings getting in. Great ball from last year's MVP, Solomon Asante.
Junior Flemings getting on the board, and he was just one of 2 Phoenix Rising members to get their first goal in the red and black as Junior Flemings, little hop, skip, and a jump to the corner flag in celebration. But Billy Forbes, former Phoenix member, I mean, that's Billy at his best. Right side, cuts in on his left, and an electric finish.
Everything you could ask for. Silky smooth. Watch him, Turks and Caicos, no problem. Little step over, touch inside, far post. Nope, I'm going near. Waz kind of knew it. He saw it coming. You've read the book so many times before. I mean, how often did you see that in training session across from me last year? He couldn't counteract it. He knew. Got left out to dry bit by the defending. But again, never longer than 10 or 11 minutes for this squad to counteract what had previously been thrown at him. We saw Junior Flemings on the first goal finish. This time it's distribution. Good ball in by Adam John, or by Junior Flemings. Nice finish by John on the back post.
And it took a little bit of a fortuitous bounce here as Junior Flemings is going to get this initial pass back from Aguinaga. And then Adam John, just an intelligent run. Amir Jidis does not follow him. John opens his scoring account with Phoenix. And then this looked like it might be it. I mean, this is a punch to the gut. It's a knockout blow, whatever you want to call it. An own goal from Adam John. And there's not much you can do there. He made the right play to try to at least get to the ball, did he not?
That's something fun to think about on the training ground is look how high the big man can get up. You want to turn it the other direction, but have him make some flashy runs to the near post, try and get a flick on. Defensively didn't work out, but again, Lambert liked him coming from the middle, came back out right. Patience all night long. These guys did not back down. Wasn't the prettiest, wasn't the best we've seen them. Questionable by Cardoni right there. It's not the second one. To be fair, the second one's impressive to make it all the way back across. The first one, when he comes to challenge, gets a bit foolish with his footwork. Technical on the second part. Good ball by Lambert. Better ball by Jason Johnson on the finish.
And our man of the match, of course, is going to be Junior Flemings, presented by Mobile Mini. I mean, Devin, this was the guy that excited fans in the offseason in terms of new signings, along with Adam John moving forward. But Flemings, I mean, he showed out tonight on the road.
It was good, not great. What you saw tonight from him is just a glimpse of what he's capable of. Expect much more from him in the future, both emotionally and professionally, because the maturity wasn't there from anybody on the pitch tonight. A little bit of those nerves going to get out of the way. Counter back it next week on the second match.
Phoenix Rising FC 3-3 on the road in the opening game of the 2019 campaign. For our entire crew, my broadcast partner, Devin Kerr, Tylen Terrence, saying so long for now. Join us next week in the home opener of 2019 as Phoenix Rising take on New Mexico United. Coming up next, it's 2.5 Men.
Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Well, this is going to be a sucky weekend.
Try spending it with an 11-year-old who does nothing but complain.
You mean me?
Well, no wonder they gotta write your name in your underwear.
What am I supposed to do?